can you get and rediscover intelligent golden nuggets of knowledge, true knowledge that frees you into infinity? Yes, you can get exceptional African science heritage and knowledge from a lot of sources, but propose that we visit our book Free from God, because since earliest times melanin dominant human beings have sought to fulfill an inherent, deeply rooted spiritual urge connected to the cycles of time, seasons and years. And African science predates modern science. You can read that and a lot of verification and validation of that statement from our book Free from God, chapter 13, and many other chapters, where we are taught that many tribal knowledge narratives have now been verified as correct by modern science. When it comes to the universe and its creation, they all are technically what we can agree to as more than rudimental musings of primitive cavemen. On cosmology, many predates Europe or any other modern sciences. Here is what we can glean from the dictionary on one of them, the Dogon cosmology, featured in a lot of other books. So African science is also the origin of quantum physics. You can watch this YouTube given here. We know that astronomy is a preserve of ancient melanin dominant human beings, Africans. Laboratory science, metallurgical science, all these are nuggets of truths that we can dig out from our ancient history. The Dogon tribe in Mali possessed advanced knowledge about the Sirius star system, which was only discovered by modern science centuries later. How did they acquire this? Because they knew and practiced a spiritual science that taught them that the kingdom of heaven is within you, and whosoever shall know it shall discover and find it. That their awareness was capable of unlocking the doors to their true potential. You have to practice exceptional African science-based spiritual system as a vital aspect of your life's culture. When you do that and when you follow that way, you are connected to the cycles of time. Therefore, this year, on the 23rd of September, we are celebrating a new year, 6260. Our main event is held at Kokwenyaje, Zimbabwe, hosted by Baba Elder Shutangwenya at the Isusu First Temple. Because we are students of philosophy, spiritual philosophy, we study science as a form of devotion to the deity, to that spiritual origin of everything, and that will cause us to understand the natural world. The student of pure philosophy studies the sciences not as a fanciful theories, but as devotion to Atema, because they reveal a universe perfectly ordered by the power of number. That's why we celebrate a new year. Well, there are lots of African sciences, African spiritual systems, metaphysics, alchemy, voodoo, astrology, numerology, symbology, cosmology, obia, and calling on the divinities. And we know that we were kings and queens in ancient times, and we are still kings and queens today, but in amnesia. Why? What happened? Why did we collapse? Because if you read The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams, it will show you who caused our destruction and why that destruction came about. We know definitely that the gods left the royalty, African black royalties, in charge. And it is our royalties and the black nobility and the rulers that sold us out by not observing the order of the universe as taught by Ubuntu Maati. And now you can reverse that in your individual and personal life by observing sacred times, and by studying and reading our book, Free from God, Unveiling Spirituality That Breeds Wisdom, will guide you and give you a comparative platform to look at almost every other subject that you can think of. And when you practice African holidays after studying Free from God, you realize the new year, September 22, 23, the days of divinities, your resurrection from the dead and from ignorance, your harvest and thanksgiving of awakening and connecting with the holy ancestors, and observing all the natural phenomena and all the times, the new moon as well as the full moon celebrations, and celebration of the sun on the 21st of October and 25th of December. And you know how to celebrate your own personal lunar birthday. You can send us an email on john@marifado if you want to participate in this year's New Year celebration, because even European scholars knew that our ancestors were the origins and the source of knowledge, the only source of knowledge. In the year 1787, upon seeing all the evidence of African heritage in Hamid, Count Devon wrote in the Ruins of Empire that just think that this race of black men today, our slave and the object of our scorn, is the very race to which we owe our arts, our sciences, and even the use of speech. When it comes to mathematics, sacred African science teaches and shows us that our ancestors discovered numbers. They wrote and calculated complex mathematics. You go to www.taneta.org. It says Africa is home to the world's earliest known use of measuring and calculation, confirming the continent as the birthplace of both basic and advanced mathematics. Listen to this now. Thousands of years ago, Africans were using numerals, algebra, and geometry in daily life. We want to celebrate this knowledge by realizing that 6260 is the year to find your own grace, for you have the power within you to do so. Astronomy originated in ancient Africa. This is a fact that has been established by science. Sacred African science is your heritage, and it's all about you because you possess that in your blood, in your genes. The Pan-African calendar, 300,000 years BCE, is in a place of cycles of time known as Inzalo Yelanga in South Africa. It is one of the oldest symbols of our ancient African science, sacred science. This oldest calendar is also corroborated with the stone and also with the bones almost 37,000 years ago, with notches on the bone reportedly to reflect a lunar calendar. These calendar notches are in principle similar to those of the sun of Namibia today. All over Africa, up to the Congo, up to Hamid, right up to Babylon, as well as Sumer and Mohenjo-Daro in India, across also to America. If, obviously, Africa is the origin of the calendar, the Egyptian calendar, the Nabda Playa calendar, it means that we lost this knowledge somewhere along the line. Therefore, the problem solver of why we lost this is to go back to embrace that which dwells beyond the Hazim Mukaha, to improve our mental acuity, to study books that opens and causes us to rediscover our unique talents, the treasure trove of abilities that reside within us, to learn how to identify and nurture our unique talents, and to create a life that aligns with our passions and with the cosmos. It is African science of the mind and spirit that removes enslavement, mental enslavement, and that captivates our journey of self-discovery and pushes us forward into insights and knowledge and incredible uniqueness that defines who we are when we connect to the cycles of time through African spirituality and through rediscovering the path and paralleled transformational power that is found in the groundbreaking book Free from God, Unveiling Spirituality That Breeds Wisdom. You have to taste the pudding, you have to read it, and you have to critique it. This will cause you to avoid other cycles of times that locks you into religions of colonizers like Christianity and Christ consciousness that enamours and clogs our mental ability and understanding when we celebrate New Year on January 1, which is Janus, which is not ours. Even when we celebrate the Islamic New Year, the Muslim Arab slave trades and slavery today continues. Our African leaders and many of our business leaders are leading us into colonial slavery via the Chinese so-called investment. When we celebrate and embrace Mandarin, embrace Chinese culture, we are simply becoming slaves. We have to know that all who celebrate these holidays suffer from cultural and identity loss. Sacred African spiritual science is the antidote that will correct us through exceptional African science heritage and observation of our natural cycles. We are not deists. We are not theists. We are not Christians, Jews, or Muslims, or Hebrews. We are free from God. We continue to understand this even at a level of quantum physics. Overall, the Dogon mythological structure of matter aligns with atomic theory and quantum theory and string theory, which came after our ancestors had already proposed all these theories, or rotation theory, or any scientific explanation. Because as animists, our ancestors realized that energy, which we call spirit or spiritus today, exists in everything that is alive and everything that you can see, as well as non-living. That individuals can access and choose to vibrate their spirit into the spiritual realm or into parallel universes through entering into trance-like or dream-like states and connecting to the waters of Nyunyu and understanding everything that is beyond. Our competitors knew all this because they knew that and wrote history as victors, distorted history, and taught religions as opium for us to go to sleep. And they also dehumanized our cultural heritage and they called it primitive, calling Ubuntu primitive. Animism is the key that will unlock all the doors. But you have to know that animism today is practiced by melanin dominant human beings when they observe and activate their totems. When they know that there is no African descendant who is totemless. Do you know your totems? Are they activated? Because totems are still the best left foot forward. They cannot mislead you. If you want to participate in any of our activities, subscribe to our channel, Hamid Iburu Ethics. For this year, if you are interested in these activities and you say, yes, I want to participate, and yes, I want to be a Muntu, yes, I want to reclaim my own African spiritual scientific nuggets, and I want to start the first steps, I want to move, I want to work with Elder Shuta Ngwenya, I want to work with Mkulu Zingiza, I want to work with Priest Rabbi Ellen Tumizu Lukunikeni Mchakanja Msikabano, I want to work with all others, the elders of Marifatu, I want to be a member, I want to move. I am no longer a slave to systems that colonized and enslaved my ancestors. Yes, 6260 is the year to rediscover your grace. And it is the year where, as we offer the mystic terrain navigation, where insights reigns and freedom from darkness and the breaking of the chains occurs, come and join us. Share your resources, share your thoughts, share your comments, share your questions with us. You can do that by sending an email to join@marifado.com, and we will move on this journey together. Amen. May 6260 be the true year of your grace forevermore. Until we meet again in eternity with our ancestors and divinities, I say Amen, Amen, Amen.